So I'm here with Chase today. We're at BA Live. So Chase, I mean, obviously you and I are good buddies. We've actually talked about a few of the things we're going to talk about today. But I mean, you're in real estate, you're in commercial and development. I guess my question to you is, how do you focus your energy? Like what means the most to you, and how do you focus your energy in what you're doing right now?
Yeah, glad to be here with you.
It can mean a lot of different things, and I guess that's where I'm getting at.
Yeah, construction and development, and it can mean a lot of things. I think even when I have my name tag and it says Chase is in construction, I mean, that can mean so many different things. There's all kinds of different kind of constructions and levels. Do you do single-family residential, or do you do high-rises? Our focus, where I particularly live, is definitely smaller stuff, so we do a lot of residential. But we're getting into some land development, bigger projects that are really exciting and fun. I actually enjoy them a whole lot. So it's nice to see the development and the growth that's coming to our county because it makes sense for the stuff we love and have already done, but just get to do it at a bigger scale.
Yeah.
So our focus really is residential and small commercial, and then mixed use. So we've got a couple of properties now that are mixed use. So you'll have some commercial on one side of the project, where all the way you got kind of a multifamily in the middle, and then single family on the other side. So that's our primary focus in our county, in our area. We're blessed to be in a county that's growing like crazy. So yeah. I'm able to that be our home base and really stick to that. And I can see, I mean, with the growth that's coming our way, we'll probably be there for a long time and not having to go outside of that area.
Well, that's nice, close to home.
Yes, it's a blessing for sure.
So, I mean, with that, you say, hey, we might have commercial on this side and then residential on the other side. I mean, obviously it didn't start like that, right? Mm-hmm. So when you get to some of these type of deals and construction deals, I mean, how do you learn that? Or is it just get thrown in the fire?
Yeah, well, I do have a history in all those things. I did get thrown in the fire when I was soon out of college, and kind of ended up in a role where I was quickly pushed up the ladder to run some multifamily and mixed use and residential all in one project. I mean, the last project I did for that company was about $20 million, and it was mixed and just kind of thrown into it.
Yeah.
So now, luckily, I'm getting to do it with my own company and bringing that back to something that I know and love. And the way we ended up with this particular property I'm talking about is the property itself kind of told us what was best there.
Yeah.
I didn't go out searching for a property to do that on. The property kind of found me, which is one of the blessings of the county and my family there and the history we have. But the property kind of found us and told us, hey, this is what would be best here. And I was like, we can do that. So that's kind of how we ended up charting down that road.
Well, I mean, I feel like every time we talk, I feel like, you're a man of faith. And I feel like your integrity like that, you follow that path, right? And so I feel like you're a person that, land told you what to do, right? Basically. Mm-hmm. So I feel like when you say that to me, I'm like, okay, that's just Chase, because he's just always doing what he should be doing, and then thus he's just kind of having these opportunities unfold. Mm-hmm. I mean, do you agree? Or?
Yeah, I would say absolutely, yeah. And there's a Holy Spirit inside of me that guides and directs what I do. So if somebody doesn't like that, sorry about it. Don't work with me. Sorry about it for them, But I think that drives a lot of the things that I do and the decisions that we make, and also, that's what brings the opportunities that we have. I think if you were to look at us and somebody said, hey, what's a differentiating factor between you and maybe other developers or other people in your area, most of the property that we are working on and have worked on, it's come to us. I had two this week that just reached out and said, hey, we got this piece of land.
Yeah.
Let's do a deal, partner with you or whatever. Okay, let's look at your land. What's going to make the best use there? And that's how literally all of our projects that are going right now happen that way.
So already two deals just this week.
This week, yeah, two people called us on. One of them I said, hey guys, we don't have the bandwidth right now. Love the idea, but people just trust us and they trust that we're going to do what we say we're going to do and develop it the right way. And so, yeah, absolutely, faith and having an impact on what we're doing drives our decisions for sure.
Yeah, so because obviously we've talked, and as you go down this journey, you talked about commercial, residential. Now you're getting into the senior living, right? Mm-hmm. And so what draws you towards that? Because obviously that's really different than someone like me getting in and I'm just buying single family homes. I don't even do construction, right? And so to go all the way to say, hey, let's start building senior living.
Yeah, that's a particular project that's got a lot of heart and passion behind it. I've actually been studying senior living for years and years now, just the demographic and the need for it in our world just in general. If you look at 8 people per minute turn 65, which turns out to like 4 million people per year are aging 65. We're about to double our population in the next 15-ish years of people that are over 65, and even the same numbers at the 85 number. So it's a very underserved market. So I started studying it from that standpoint at one point. But then I have 4 grandparents that are over 80. I have one that's over 90. So I see it. I see the need for it. And then also just deciding a market that rather than just building another house, rather than just building another multifamily, hey, let's pick something that we love and care about and can see how we could have an impact through that. And then a property hit our plate that's like, this makes sense to do senior living.
Yeah.
And I've got to know some people who particularly can help us manage it, and even architects and engineers who it fits the bill for what they're doing.
Yeah. So
just kind of all culminated together, and we're heading down that path with a really cool new project.
Dude, that's, I mean, every time we talk, like genuinely, I'm like I was even talking to my partner Jed last night, and he's like, you and Chase are good buddies. I'm like, well, dude, I love hanging out with Chase, because every time I talk to him, he has all these different things going on. I mean, and I'm just impressed. So I like it. So, I mean, you kind of already hit on this a couple questions ago, but I mean, like, you already kind of hit on what kind of sets you different.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were to kind of elaborate on that for everyone listening, like, what sets you different? One, you kind of talked about integrity, like what you say is what you do. But I mean, is it as simple as that, or is it deeper?
Yeah, I mean, a couple things I'd say. If you're talking about from just a surface level, I think we just have a really good persona in our area. So my family business has been there since 1959. So we get a lot of great connections. We get land at deal. But what you get the land at, what you buy the land at, is what makes sense. I mean, selling is one thing. Buying is way more important than selling. Selling is easy if you buy right. So those kind of deals come to us. But I'd say for me personally, I'm always looking at, and it's even becoming more so now, is what kind of impact can we have? I believe we're called to take the platforms, the talents, the gifts we have an impact on the lives that we're around, the people we're around, the investors we deal with, the contractors, the suppliers. So we're trying to do that in all facets, just like the senior living. It's like, hey, can I have an impact on those people we're working with, the people we're going to serve, the clients who are going to live here in the future? Can I use our funds for that? Can I talk to my investors about the way we're having an impact in this world and making a difference? And it really literally drives everything I say and do, and that's the truth. I mean, people who know us personally just know that's how we live our lives.
Yeah.
And anybody can say that, but I think if you get to know us, and you've gotten to know me, it's like I think you know that, hey, we live for having an impact and making a difference.
No, I can tell that.
So,
like, truly, I can tell that. Every time we hang out here, every time we're on, like, talk on the phone, I like, you know that your heart is in the right place, and you know that you're always going to do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and hope if I don't do that sometime, call me out on it. You're a new accountability partner.
Yeah, exactly.
hold me to that. So, yeah.
That's good. Well, okay, so then some of my last questions, I mean, like, kind of broad question, but you might have a different approach on it. I mean, it's family business. You've been in it for probably as long as you can remember. But let's take me, for example. I'm more stocks, investing, that type of thing. So for me, someone wanted to get into real estate, I mean, like, what would you suggest on how to start? I mean, a lot of people say maybe just single family homes just to start, but, like, is there a better way to learn? Or is there a better way to be thrown in the fire, right? Because, I mean, Grant Cardone, he talks about how he did the single family, and obviously he had a whole another business on the side. So he did single family, sold it, and then he went and bought an apartment complex. Now that's his way, but, like, what would be Chase's way?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's lots of ways to get involved in real estate. Is it, you directly owning a piece of property and putting, single family rental on there, or is it getting involved in some kind of syndication or some kind of fund? I'm the same as you. I'm diversified in a few different areas. I think most people would see real estate as a pretty, conservative and consistent market if you look at it as a whole. So they like the safety there. Everything's got its volatility, but a lot of safety there.
Yeah.
But once we've all heard location, so that's obviously top of mind.
Yeah.
But I think people you trust for sure. If the people who, most of our investors and people involved in our projects trust us who we are and what we do, and that we're going to make sure they're taken care of before we're taken care of. So I'd say if you're getting in any kind of real estate with another person, say trust is a big thing, their track record, their authority in the space. Or if you got the oomph to do it, do it yourself, getting into purchasing your own little place and learning the difficulties of it. Most people who buy 1 or 2 single-family homes don't survive in it. 2 years later, they've been trying to manage it and dealing with renters and all that kind of stuff, and they're wanting to get out of it. Me and my wife actually started that way.
Well, I mean, I did it. I've survived, but I can see where the hardships come from.
Yes.
But, yeah. And
that was me and my wife at first. We did that like, hey, our first house, we were going to live on one side, lease the other side, and it was difficult. But then when we got to a few units, and then we were able to have a managers, and I'm in construction and helped. So there's definitely a lot of directions to go. I think just trying it's the first thing.
Yeah.
And getting some of your portfolio, if you're an investor, some of your portfolio in real estate is a smart play, in my opinion.
No, I agree.
So
that's why I genuinely asked that question.
Yeah.
Because I'm literally on the other side of the table, because I'm like, I have, one house, one more, but it's like, what's the best way to go about it, right?
Yeah, and for one example, kind of tying this together, our senior living, for example, we're going to have a project where somebody could purchase a single-family type style house or a block of homes, own that home, but we've got a management structure around it, a marketing structure around it, a sales structure around it. So there's options like that too, where you might could dive right into it, get that single-family or 2 single-family rental properties that's got a structure, plug and play, and somebody to protect you. If the numbers can work out, you can real quickly be upside down, especially in today's market with the cost of everything. Yeah. So, that'd be my little advice.
No, and I think that's great, because I think tying everything back together, I think why you've been successful, in my opinion, is what we talked about: integrity, impact. Like, not just thinking like, hey, business is business, right? And business must grow, but at the same time, it's like, what as business is growing, what impact, what personal touch am I putting into this? Because obviously it's your community, right? But I imagine you'd probably do that wherever you're at, because you're like, hey, I want to be proud of what I built, and I want everyone else to be like, hey, we appreciate that, right? So I think that's what I appreciate from you. So I guess to kind of end it, you talked about impact a lot. Does that come naturally? Do you have times where you're like, I really just want to get this deal done?
Absolutely.
But then it comes back in and you're like, absolutely, but I got to make sure,
100%. All day, every day, I'm fighting that battle. We all have, I talked about a spirit inside of me. I also have a flesh that has selfish desires. And I have to battle that all the time. I have a couple of things on my phone. I have one that wakes up, or that I see every single day. It says, live your life for something worth giving your life. It's like, hey, in the decisions I'm making today and the business I'm running, is it worth literally giving my life? Would I die for it?
Yeah.
And that's a lot of days I could say, I wouldn't die for what I did there. So I failed that day. No, I'm not saying I failed, like, oh my gosh, but so I fight this constantly. Yeah, and then I have another one that pops on my phone every day, and it says, is every life equally important? And the reason I have that, it's like to remind me, like, hey, we get stuck in our little thing and our little world, but there's all kinds of people around us that, is their life just as important as my life? If it is, I need to be living it in such a way that I want to have an impact on their lives, or I want to be striving to impact people across the world. So I have these things to try to remind me every day and challenge me every day, because absolutely my selfish desires get in the way all the time. I can want the same things that we all want.
Yeah.
I can strive after the same things that we all want to strive after in our own self. So I fight it all the time, no doubt. I'm going to try to be grounded back to that and have people to hold me accountable to that. And I fail some days, but as a whole, for striving forward and trying to have that impact, I think we'll continue to line ourselves back up where we need to be.
Well, and I think that's why you do what you do and how you keep going. So, well, thanks. That's very insightful, and I think that's going to help everyone who watches this.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Thanks, Colten.
You got him, my man.
Bam.